All right, you and your family have decided you're gonna be moving to Orlando. Clap it up, yep. Excellent choice, excellent choice. But I also know that people have varying degrees of familiarity with the Orlando area. For example, I've had people reach out from Miami where they're a lot more familiar with Orlando because it's like a 3-4 hour drive away, versus I've had people reach out from Israel and Denmark, believe it or not, where they're a lot less familiar with Orlando. So for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna treat everyone on a scale of 0 to 10 of familiarity, a 2.5. So you kind of know what Orlando is. You've probably maybe visited once or twice. So we're gonna take a look at the 5 county areas in Central Florida to give you a general idea of where you might want to start looking based on your budget and lifestyle. So to start off, I initially talked about the 5 county areas, and so we have Polk County, that's furthest south. Then you got Lake County, which is going to be north, but northwest. Then you also have Orange County, which is where Disney is, if you want more familiarity there. So it's a lot more central. Then you have Osceola County, which is also south, really far down south, but also east. So it's sort of the southeast quadrant of Central Florida. And last but not least is Seminole County, just right above Orange County, looking northeast as well. And so those are the areas we're gonna be talking about. And let's first zone in on Polk County. And so while I begin to look down, you're gonna be looking straight ahead as we look at this screen recording together. I literally just went on Google and pulled up the maps just to give you an outline of Polk County, as you can see by these red dots. And since you're at a 2.5 on the familiarity scale, I feel like I almost butchered that word there. Some of the more popular areas in Polk County are gonna be like your Davenport, your Haines City, your Winter Haven, for example, Lakeland, you may have heard of before, and Arbondale. But all these areas, and I will say the further south you go is the more rural you get in regards to the lifestyle, which I'll touch on that now. One of the biggest things going for Polk County is that it's not necessarily for the person that wants to be really close to Orlando, because more or less to get to downtown Orlando, you're like 45 minutes away, if not an hour, depending like if you were in Lakeland, for example. But it is sort of the equal distance to Orlando and Tampa. As you can see, Tampa is just chilling out right over here. And so if you're someplace like Arbondale or even Lakeland, you're like 35 minutes to Tampa and maybe about 45 to Orlando, which can be really advantageous to some people if you have family in Tampa or you have family in Orlando or both, or you just like one area or the other to visit frequently or frequently enough. This might be a really good county to start looking in. The second major point about the Polk County lifestyle is that there really isn't a lot to do. You have everything covered from the needs standpoint. So like your Publix, your Walmarts, you have all the grocery stores, you have all the convenience stores, you have the chain restaurants, and there's a lot more stores and businesses coming to the different parts of Polk County. You also have Legoland as well, which is pretty cool, and you have some really nice golf courses around the area if that's something you're into. But in general, when it comes to kind of going out and visiting attractions and that kind of thing, I usually see people going out to the Orlando area, whether that's for Disney or maybe going somewhere like Winter Park or downtown, or they're going over to Tampa to enjoy something outside of the norm that every other city has. And for some people, that's perfectly fine. It's not like you're balling out every single day of the week. And so when you occasionally have some special occasion, families in town, or you just want to go out for a date night, or you just want to go out to eat by yourself, and you want to go to a really nice restaurant, you have those on both ends of the spectrum. The other piece of why Polk County is incredibly desirable for some folks is they are attracted to value. And the home prices in Polk County are extremely attractive. And I'm gonna kind of take you through my website. You can look at Zillow if you so please, but just looking at what are some of the different home options in the Polk County area. And so really the only criteria I put in here is homes in Davenport, Florida. So let's kind of take a look. You'll find that a lot of short-term rentals, for example, this one is in Davenport because it is short-term rental friendly, but not all neighborhoods are like strictly Airbnb communities. That's also a big misconception for some folks about the area. But let's take a look at this one. It is a 4-bed, 3-bath, and you're looking at just under 2,000 square feet for $380,000. And I think this is where Davenport really shines, and just Polk County in general, is that you're able to get such good value in regards to home prices If you compare this to some areas that we're going to in a second, this won't even get you a townhome. And so to conclude on Polk County, I think it's a really great option if you value proximity to Tampa and Orlando equally, or at least in some regard. And also if you are budget conscious, if you're looking to stay maybe under that average price point, that 444K, this is a really great spot to do it and still get a good home that you will be happy with. And also, even if you were to exceed that price point, it's just more overall giving you bang for your buck, which is always an amazing thing. You are giving up kind of that ease of accessibility, but most of what's in your area is what you need on a day-to-day basis, and you're really only going outside of that for, say, an excursion or, you know, a fun day out. Let's move up north to Lake County. You've probably heard of some of these areas. Let me start screen recording. We're looking at areas such as Claremont, which I've made plenty of videos about. Mineola, super big fan of Mineola right now. Groveland, Mascot, Yahala, Leesburg, Eustis, Tavares, Mount Dora, Sorrento. So many really cool areas in Lake County. Really the first county I came to when I moved to the Orlando area. I stopped in Claremont. So really big fan of this county and what's going on. And I think they have some similarities to Polk County, but also the things that Polk County misses, I think Lake County picks up on in a really tremendous way. I only moved here like 6 years ago, end of 2015. And like I said, Claremont's really the first area I landed on. So I was in Lake County, finished high school in Claremont, and it's changed so much in that short amount of time. And there are plenty of shops, when you look at the downtown Claremont area, for example, it's not only the chain spots anymore, it's the local businesses with local owners that have their own stories, and you have different shops and boutiques, and also really big chain restaurants and everything that you can imagine you have in Claremont, from both day-to-day and also recreationally speaking. It also wouldn't be Lake County without access to plenty of lakes, right? And so if you want to get out on the water, there's also really good opportunities there. Golf life is also present there. That's where my infamous golf swing came from, was actually a driving range over in Claremont. Even going up to an area like Mount Dora, which is absolutely, like, the downtown area there is so beautiful. It's quaint. A lot of development is proposed for that area as well. You got some rural pockets or some more low-key pockets, such as like Sorrento, for example, Umatilla, Yahala, Howey in the Hills, Groveland, Mascot, Summerfield. But you also have the more established, the more pronounced in regards to retail areas that you might want to frequent and live in. Here in Claremont, we got a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, a little bit over 1,700 square foot home for asking $429. If you remember the one in Davenport, it was $380 and had more bathrooms and larger square footage. So you really start to see the difference there. It's certainly more expensive in most areas than Polk County, but also still relatively good value compared to, again, Orange and Seminole. And for something around $380, you got this one, $379,900. That's a 3-bed, 2-bath. A little bit over 1,500 square feet. However, like I mentioned, there are some more rural pockets where you are able to get more bang for your buck as well, maybe similar to Polk County. And so to cap off Lake County, I think it's a great area to venture into if you're looking for an area that has potential in some of the different cities based on some really big developments that are coming to those areas. Also, if you want to have relative connectivity to places in Orange County, that is a bit better than what's going on in Polk County with the different proposed turnpikes and expressways and connectors in Lake County to make access to the rest of Orlando easier. That's also great. If you are still budget conscious, I think Lake County is definitely a place that you might want to look in to get more bang for your buck as well, and just overall a more cohesive lifestyle. I definitely think this area has a lot of people and a lot of lifestyles covered. Now we're going over to the most popular county, the one you probably know if you've visited Disney, if you went to a convention at the Orange County Convention Center, or maybe hung out at Icon Park. This is the one most recognizable to you, which is Orange County, the central county of Orlando. And Orange County is really interesting because there isn't a singular lifestyle that can really be like expressed in regards to, if you like this, go to Orange County, because the different areas within Orange County offer totally different things sometimes. And so I've had folks love Lake Nona but dislike Winter Garden, or loved Windermere but didn't too much like Winter Park because of proximity to the parks, for example, or whatever the case may be. But in general, I will say, if you are someone that's looking to get closer to the parks, if you are a big Disney fan, a big theme parks fan, this is going to be the county that's going to get you closest to those areas for the most part. Also, if you want to be close to downtown Orlando, let's say you're working in downtown Orlando or you just love that lifestyle, if you love the urban lifestyle, this is going to also be the county in which you can explore that to the greatest extent that Orlando has to offer. If you are also really big on condos, this is going to be the county where most of the condo units are. I get that question a lot from people who are maybe coming from up north in larger cities. We don't have a ton of condos here in Central Florida, but the highest concentration of them is in Orange County. Also, if you are a big golfer and you want to play at the most prestigious clubs or the really well-known clubs in the area and across the world, they are located in Orange County. Also, you have the lake life. Some of the higher quality bodies of water are in Orange County. When you look at the Butler chain of lakes, for example, in the Windermere area. If you're a foodie, the Michelin Guide recently came to Orlando, and guess where most, if not all of those restaurants are? In Orange County. So Orange County sort of has something for everybody, even on the potential scale that I touched on in the Lake County area. There are a lot of the projects that I talk about constantly around my Instagram and also on this channel in Orange County. So Orange County is the most all-encompassing county of Orlando and has pretty much everything that someone would want in one way or another. All that nice stuff being said, it does come at a price. So you're looking at Orange County being the most expensive county to purchase a home as well. And so let's kind of go through some of the areas together. Started in Windermere. This is an area I've actually been getting a lot of more reach outs about recently. As you can see, just by the first page, it's a lot different in the prices that are shown compared to the previous counties, where you're starting to see those homes over $1 million, the homes in the nines, the lot, just the lot alone, that's $900,000. But you also have homes that are $490,000. This, for example, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, just under 16 or just over 1,600 square feet. Compare that to, again, Davenport, $380 for a home that is bigger. But as they say, the most important things in real estate are location, location, and location. So when you factor in where you are in Orlando, the proximity that you have to the parks, to the different amenities that this area has to offer and surrounding areas, and then also the schools, which I don't really touch on as a real estate agent, but statistically speaking, some of the most higher rated schools in all of Central Florida are in Orange and Seminole County, but for the purposes we're looking in Orange right now. And so although there is some flexibility depending on where in Orange County you choose to explore, in general it's going to be more expensive than the other counties in Central Florida. More gated communities, more prestigious communities, and just in general more proximity to the things that make Orlando Orlando, and so you're paying a premium for location. Now we're diving over to Seminole County, the smaller county with notable areas such as Oviedo, Longwood, Altamont Springs, Winter Springs, Lake Mary, Heathrow, which is a subsection of Lake Mary. You also got Sanford and Altamont Springs. I think I mentioned that before, but not a ton of different areas. And truly the lifestyle of this area or this county is the slower pace, because it is tucked slightly out the way, but not by far. And so a lot of people love accessing things in Orange County, such as going to Winter Park on Park Ave and enjoying the restaurants and the lifestyle there, or going into Orlando, but then removing themselves from that when they are ready in their small, sleepy suburb. Seminole County also scores really high for their school system, which I know a lot of people have concerns about, but Seminole County consistently ranks really high for highly rated schools. So that's something important to note. Also, the proximity to the coast. You're like 45-50 minutes to New Smyrna. So in some areas, in some cities in Seminole County, it's sort of a similar thing to what's happening in Polk County, where you have that equal distance to Tampa and Orlando. Here it'd be Orlando to the coast. And so if you're somebody that wants a spontaneous trip to the beach, that is a part of your lifestyle, and you're a bit more concerned with hurricanes, then Seminole County kind of positions you well to take advantage of that, while being a bit more protected and a bit closer to Orlando, if that's also something you love as well. Home prices are going to be less expensive than Orange County, but more expensive than Lake and Polk County. And so it's sort of what people go there for, is to have that proximity to the things in Orange County while still having things to do in Seminole County, still keeping proximity to the beach, but not paying as much for their home. And so if you're looking for that sort of balance between proximity to the really cool stuff, to your own stuff and then also to the beach, but not paying Orange County prices. Let's say you wanted to live in Winter Park, a lot of people will shift over to Oviedo or Lake Mary. And so it's definitely an area and county that I would venture into if I am finding myself very interested in what's going on in Orange County, because chances are, especially if you want to stretch your budget a bit for more value, that you can find something really nice in Seminole County. Last but certainly not least is Osceola County. Main or notable areas are going to be Celebration, the town that Disney built, Kissimmee, St. Cloud, and Yeehaw Junction. I'm just kidding. You probably don't know of Yeehaw Junction. Osceola County is very similar to Polk County to me, except that it is much more inviting in the retail sense. There is a lot more to do in Kissimmee, but it's also a lot more affordable in that area as well. But when it comes to the retail stuff, they have made significant improvements in trying to revitalize some of the areas that really just needed some TLC. This is also a county of great residential investment. A lot of new communities, a lot of really big communities are coming to this part of town. And I will also say in the same breath, a con to that is this is probably the worst county when it comes to infrastructure. And it can really be less than desirable to get in and out of that area. But because they are lagging behind in some of their other metrics, although boosting up in the residential development and also retail, the home prices there are really favorable. Getting a home in Kissimmee in the fours is not a novel concept. You're getting a lot more bang for your buck compared to Orange County, and depending on where you are in Osceola County, you're like 10-20 minutes away from Disney. You can be 30 minutes away from the airport, sometimes 20 minutes to the airport, and so you can have really good connectivity depending again on where you are to some of the things that we love about the Orange County area, but not pay Orange County prices and pay really significantly under, more than 10%. And so with the exception of Celebration, you are able to find things on the more affordable end of the spectrum. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Which county sounds like it fits your vibe more? Which county have you been looking in for a while now? And if you are looking to buy a home, I'd love to partner with you by doing a discovery session where we dive into this stuff in a deeper way. Feel free to click the link in the bio or shoot me an email, info@orlandowithmario.com. Look forward to talking to you. Hopefully you have a good one.